bring this finance committee meeting to order. In attendance are all members of council, Jason Smith and absent excused. Also in attendance are Mayor Dennis Morley and Auditor Randy Clammer. The agenda is discuss possible extension of the Republic Services contract. Mayor.
Okay, so, as you know, our contract with the Republic is up on 3/31/22. We have discussed about bidding it out. We ended up talking with Dave and Chase. So this is Dave here and Chase right now from Republic. Chase actually was the former mayor of Lorraine, so he is the youngest mayor of Lorraine, so he knows the ins and outs of what we need to do and not to do. So it was brought up about the whole putting out for bid, or if it was not specialty, but we were sent something, Randy took it over, and because the city basically is not paying for the services, we don't have to bid. So if we want to continue with Republic, we can actually extend. You all do have all the new numbers and everything that we discussed, and what we talked about, and John said in an initial meeting with myself and Carol Ann and Jason and Dave, was an initial meeting before we brought it to council of what they would do for us, especially in the billing of the first year. So as you know, right now we don't have a garbage cart, we just have to recycle. So this would, they would supply a new cart for us for garbage. We would still have unlimited garbage, and that would start in April of 22. Bulk items would still be happening, couches, fridges, and everything else that's in there. The big change right here would be, right now, our, as I said before, our yard waste usually ends at the end of November and begins in March, or I'm sorry, in April, actually. And they've extended, since we cut back my first year in office, we extended when we went away from backing the leaves off the tree lawn. They've extended it since, the full 8 years into usually the middle of December without charging the city or the residents any more money for that. I think that's something that they've, done, and they've done it again this year, as we see there until December 17th. We would change the collection to the third week of March, and then end in December, at the end of December. So that's a change. And then, as you see the pricing, from right now, from 4/21 to, so 3/31/20, or 3/31, right now, 4/1/21 to 3/31/22 is currently $54.10 per quarter. That would stay from 3/31/22 until April 1 of 23. They would have no increase the first year we stayed. And then I know they have the numbers of 1866, 1932, 20, and 2059. I did the math, so April 1 of 23 to 24 would be 55.98. 24 to 25 would be 57.96. 25 to 26 would be 60, and then April 1, 26 to 27 would be 62.07. The only thing that it was also added was renewals beyond March 31st, 27 would be usually 320 days before the end of the contract. So, have I missed anything, gentlemen? So, I think I talked to John about this before. It's like everything else. One of my concerns is, and I talked to Randy a little bit about this, is with everything that we cannot get these days, with change, if we put it out for bid and went to change companies, and we couldn't get the card, because everything obviously is backward for a lot of things. And two is that, again, like everything else, when we change your cell phone and that, it's sometimes better, sometimes not. I mean, do we get complaints about it? Absolutely. When I give them complaints their issue, sometimes it's the resident's issue. You know, when they miss the whole side of the street, obviously it's their issue. But when you hit or miss, sometimes the resident just didn't have their, recycle out or garbage. And they go back. Another example, with everything that's been going on in Harbor, when they were asphalting down there, they went back 3 or 4 times that whole week just to make sure they got all the garbage, which again, it's one pickup, you know, it's their usual step. So, they go above and beyond for us. Anytime we've had major flood, they would pick up, and again, no extra charges with all the extra days that they did in 2010, 13, and some of the ones we just had recently. So, at the end of the day, I just think at this point, with everything else going on, with not being able to get things, that we should maybe consider keeping them. Again, we can put it out for bid. I know there's only one city that is being charged with charged less than us right now, it's Lloyd. But again, they have their issues here and there for things. One other thing that I had, when I did try to get some things, and this was back a few years ago. So when we were at, I'll just use 2018. So we were at 47.85 in 2018. A few of the other cities were at 51.94. In 14, we were at 46.15. Some of the other cities were at 49, 48.96. So again, that is the reason this is the end of the 10-year agreement. When we were first one of the groups that went outside the city doing the garbage pickup and not doing it. So at the end of the day, you know, this is the end of a 10-year contract, and we're still going to be a little less than everyone else. So again, there's a lot of things going on. So that's my thoughts on it. I mean, again, I have no issues with whatever, how you guys want to do it. And if you guys have anything to add or any questions, feel free.
Any questions? I have a question. How many other cities are not required to have these buggies or water cans? Anybody?
We're actually the only one left that doesn't have the 2 buggies. And that's part of the problem with them getting people to stay. Obviously, it's more physical for them to get all the garbage we have compared to going buggy and trumpet.
So they fair to say that if you roll up the contract, you're going to get the buggies.
Yeah. The buggies are going to be part of anyone's contract, or they may not even fit. Because I know that's one of the things that was brought up last year.
Evening, members of council, Chase Sternauer from Public Services. Do I address through the chair? This is one of the first times it's been back since I've been in office. But through the chair, the mayor is correct, and councilman. You know, when you look at the other communities, they're mostly also they're buggies, carts, whatever vernacular. The issue we have is, as you look at the shortage in drivers nationwide, whether it's trash trucks, over the road, bus drivers. You look at pay, you look at the nature of the work. Out of Cleveland, we do mostly Lake County, we do Macedonia as well. This is the only hand-toss community where the driver's throwing every stop, essentially. So on a given day, the driver will typically pull probably 16 to 18 tons a route out of the city. So that's 2 trash routes, 16 to 18 tons each. It's becoming harder and harder to find people. When I look at turnover out of Cleveland, a lot of it is this hand toss where people just don't stay. So from a service standpoint, I think the carts will also help because there's more continuity on the routes. I'll give you an example. A city to your east that has carts. Those 2 trash drivers have not changed this entire year. When I look at East Lake, we have had at least 10 different drivers through the city of East Lake, just trash, not counting garbage. Because it's just work that, you know, today, you can go to Burger King, get paid every day, and be making $15 to $17 an hour. And some people will just say, I'd rather do that than drive the truck. So the toters are important for us, and, you know, standardizing the service, it'll help us with retention. extension. And truthfully, you know, we service Willoughby, we service Painesville. If there are truck issues or, you know, the mayor gets an issue and calls me about it, you know, if there's a truck down the east side, easier to bring a truck over from Willoughby, it's the same kind of truck, same kind of service. So from a predictability standpoint, it would also help.
With the shortages of everything, you have enough of these cars now.
So,
In good shape or new?
we would be doing new. We would be ordering new. Some VAs have done used carts. I prefer to do new. It's just a better start to, you know, an extension, it's a better start to toters. It'd be, you know, we have to order, I mean, some people, yeah, I mean, it's 5,500 would probably be the order. If you go to Home Depot, they're not cheap. You know, and a lot of your,
The supply chain is something that's going to be able to get done.
with the lead time, so from now to April, and the good news is if we're your contractor or if we do the first or second week, we still hand toss it until they came in. That's the good thing about obviously being with us. With all the toters we order, we do have an advantage from a supply chain standpoint, economies of scale. We're ordering toters across the country. So that helps from a vendor perspective of getting them quickly, but yeah, we won't need lead time. The toters are actually easier to get than trucks. New trucks for contracts, so that takes probably upwards of 6+ months.
Mr. Martin?
I have one question for you. And, you know, if there's houses, for instance, and I know I have some residents on my street and everything that are, high volume garbage producers, as are. I assume they would have, the ability to, request a second toter, obviously, something like that, or put out, I think you mentioned a couple cans of their own retreat.
Yeah, front hands, you know, and look, we know our drivers are really good about, you know, hey, the contractual rate of default says X. The driver sees they're typically take everything once it's unsafe to take. A number of your residents already have toters that they purchase from Home Depot or Walmart or wherever that are pretty sturdy toters. If they were to keep that, use that as a second toter, yeah, this extension includes the cart plus, you know, extras that they would want to put out.
Any other questions?
I was voting, thank you, I was paying quarterly what I was paying monthly where I was living 13 years ago. I was paying the same amount now, monthly, and it was strict as far as we pick up. So it was completely different company, not public health. And so the cost I know people here see the cost increase, but I wish they could see how good they have it. I mean, it's been pretty economical for my thank you.
So we'll be at 2 carts, though, right?
Willoughby, you can get a second cart.
I mean, but they have 2 initials. The question Dave was asking.
Oh,
If we bid out,
Oh, John,
yeah, we still have a recycle.
correct, yeah, the recycle cart is still there.
is there any other questions? All right. Committee, you want to move this forward? Mr. Gully? Yes. Schmidt? Yes, I'm okay.
Yeah, we'll get legislation put together for December 14th. That'd be the first vote.
All right, that's it. Great.
Great, thank you.
Thank you for your time. Happy Thanksgiving. Yeah, it's good to be back.
There, the other side of the table.
What's that?
Sit down on the other side of the table.
It's strange too.
It's strange.
Mr. Public? Motion to adjourn into executive session?
You gotta do a vote, motion to adjourn, to the appointment of the interim safety driver. Sure, so yeah, sorry.
Take care, happy Thanksgiving.
Take care.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Yeah, we can do, we can go in now, if we have questions, I'll bring them in, I'm not gonna bring them in.
Well, we have another issue too.
Yeah.
So the second motion, if you wanna do separately, we'll take a motion on that one.
Why don't we do that one first, and then by the time we're done with that, then we should be able to be on the same.
We can do both motions now.
Yeah, let's do it now. Motion to adjourn to executive session to, the appointment of an interim service
return to the executive session, consider the appointment of
Insurance, safety,
Internal Service Director. And another motion to go into executive session. So,
take a roll on that one first.
take a roll on, okay.
I'm gonna make a motion.
Already made the motion.
Somebody second? Call the roll.
Commissioner Lee, yes, Commissioner Bowley?
Yes.
Charles Street?
Yes.
Yes.
Second, Mike. Mr. Meyer?
Yes.
Sure, Jason.
Motion carried.
And then second would be to.
Also a motion to adjourn the executive session and
Consider the appointment of special prosecutor for the matter.
consider the appointment of a special prosecutor. Mr. Meyer, me, yes, Mr. Meyer? Mr. Bowley?
Yes.
Commissioner? Charles Street?
Yes.
Mr. Sonic? Motion carried.
All right, just so any of you know that, we're adjourning into executive session. You leave your cell phones behind, your pen and your paper. What occurred in executive session, what's discussed is confidential. Just so, not for public consumption, so
motion to adjourn our executive session. Second, Mr. Gully, so, Dean, yes, Mr. Gully, Schmidt, Mr. Orchard, Mr. Martin, yes.
Yes.
Mr. Bennett, yes, and that concludes our meeting.
We got about that.
calling the council of open meeting for November 23rd, 2021 to order at 7 p.m. All members of the council are present, present in the administration, and Police Chief Larry Wright, Aaron Safety Director Dennis Morgan, Law Director Randy Fowler, and City Engineer Tom Boyer. If there's anyone recording this meeting, the courtesy to your fellow attendees, if you please identify yourself so that they know they're being recorded. Seeing no one, the city is recording this meeting. Under legislation proposed, we have legislation number 11-23-01, a resolution of the council of the city of East Lake authorizing the mayor to apply for, accept, and enter into a water pollution control loan fund, WPCLF agreement for the Waverly Sanitary Relief Sewer Phase 2 project for construction of wastewater facilities, designating a dedicated repayment source for the loan and declaring an emergency. Mr. Boyer, sorry.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is a loan for the Waverly 2 sewer project. It's a continuation of Waverly 1, mandated by the EPA as part of the WEPCC program for the period 2020 to 2025. We expect to begin construction sometime in early summer after the loan clears has come through, which should be in April or May. And finish up by the end of the year. The total project cost is estimated to be approximately $2.449 million. That all the questions we have about it.
Any questions for Mr. Boyer? Okay, seeing none, thank you, Mr. Boyer. We have no legislation pending. Move on to miscellaneous. We'll start, we have swearing in of Councilman Semick. There's appointment to fill out the remainder of Councilman Overstreet's term. Mr. Overstreet moves over to the board of Johnson.
I, Michael Semick,
I, Michael Semick,
do solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
and the laws of the United States,
and the laws of the United States,
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
of the state of Ohio,
of the state of Ohio,
and the charter and ordinances
and the charter and ordinances
of the city of East Lake,
of the city of East Lake,
and that I will faithfully
and I will faithfully
and impartially perform
and impartially perform
all duties
all duties
incumbent upon me
incumbent upon me
during my term beginning
during my term beginning
November 17, 2021,
November 17, 2021,
as councilman at large
as councilman at large
for the city of East Lake.
for the city of East Lake,
So help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations again. So for those that know, Mike was elected to start the beginning of the year. I had an appointment left, so we figured we'd bring it in early and get started on it. So he'll have to get sworn in again on January 4th. So,
Would you like?
but you have to come back. I told him it'll wear off by then, but it's all good. So congratulations to you guys too. You know, it is tough.
Okay. Under miscellaneous, we also have a liquor license request for Lugano Cafe Lounge LLC.
No issues with that. It's the, on Vine Street. Right now, you just have the cafe and the coffee place. We have no issues from our end on that one.
Okay. A liquor license transfer for Lucy's Lounge to Lifeline Helping Hands LLC, doing business as the Happy Hour Lounge.
At this time, we'd like to hold that in, committee. They just finally today came to the building department, to bring up the review, so they have to go through fire and building, to see what they can do, and then, we will do some more, research on it, before we come back on the 14th.
Mr. President, real quick, I won't be here on the 14th, I'll be out of town with my son, but I did have a personal conversation today with one of the agents from the Department of Public Safety that is controlled by some personal knowledge of the operation in Garfield. The reviews before, including, shootings and lots of criminal activity as you reported to me. So I want to make sure you have that information so you can get answers on that before we meet.
Okay, very good. Any questions from there for the water? Chief, you're okay with their, call from there, the water?
Yes, I spoke to the same agent that, Mr. Klanger did, and the police chief, and a couple of other people out there, and he gave the same type of negative reviews.
Okay. All right, very good, thank you, Chief. And then also looking miscellaneous, one motion to appoint a special prosecutor to prosecute the matter of, Mr. versus AP, and, this is discussed in executive session.
Anybody has any further questions?
Okay. Anybody have anything else? Okay. We'll adjourn this council as a whole committee meeting at 7:07 p.m. Calling regular council meeting of November 21st, 2021. Order at 7:07 p.m. And Schmidt, we communicate with the
flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Here.
Here.
Is there a motion to approve the agenda for the regular council meeting of November 24th, 2021? Is there a second?
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Yes.
Yes, the motion is carried, the agenda is approved. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of the regular council meeting of November 9th, 2021? Is there a second?
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, the motion is carried, the minutes are approved. Our next scheduled council of the whole committee meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, December 14th, 2021 at 7 p.m. With our regular council meeting, we will follow the agenda of the council of the whole committee.
Mr. President, motion to approve the liquor license request number 4957330 Lugano Cafe Lounge, LLC, located at 36091 Vine Street, Inside Ohio, 405.
Is there a second? Please call the roll.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, motion carried, motion carried, and motion's approved. As noted in council as a whole, we move the liquor license taking care of that next week. Mr. Stockton, do you have another motion?
Mr. President, motion to approve the appointment of attorney James Lyons as special prosecutor to prosecute the matter of East Lake Road AP at $200 per hour, with all authorities, commissions, and privileges afforded to the municipal prosecutor.
Is there a second? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, the motion carried, the motion approved. We have the appointment of, board,
The zoning board of appeals, ending 12/31/26, I'd like to reappoint James Brown Dombrowski, 219 Pier 2 Drive, East Lake, Ohio, 44195. You want to do separate or you want to do?
Randy, you want to do these separate?
We don't have any, we have any information that.
I would imagine something.
Civil Service 431/2024, Joy State, 407 Riverdale Drive, East Lake. And Planning Commission, 12/31/26, Tom Lucar Senior, 303 Fort Cliffview Drive, East Lake, 4495. And those, I have two other appointments that I need to make report, which I'll wait till sometime in December. And that will include all my appointments, as we discussed before, the Senate will have to come off planning, and you guys will make an appointment with the planning commission. I talked to Randy, if we need, he can stay on for probably a year if we choose to do that, or. But I think right now, I think we don't really have anything planned, you know, does, he's still on, comes to council, we can stay there now. That's all my plan.
Someone like to make a motion to approve the year's appointments. For a second. Please call the roll.
Yes.
Mr. Kelly?
Yes.
Mr. Smith? Yes. Mr. Summit?
Yes.
Mr. Meyer?
Yes, motion is carried, and the motion is approved.
If you want me to do this one now,
I will do it now.
okay. So, as you know, Director Rubino is retiring. His last day on the job is November 30th. His official date will be 1/29/22. So in the meantime, I would like to appoint Kevin Fiskalnik, which is one of our working foremen in town, in the AFSCME union, to the temporary position of service director, starting November 30th, and that would go till 1/29/22. At that time, I will appoint a service director, and also with that, as the charter and ordinances say, Kevin will then also go on planning commission as service director for the remainder of the time. So, for now, he will go as his contract date as it is paid right now.
So I'd like to make a motion to appoint Kevin Fiskalnik, acting service director for the city of Eastland. Is there a second? Second. Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Cotton?
Yes.
Mr. Overstreet?
Yes.
Mr. Kelly?
Yes.
Mr. Smith? Yes. Mr. Summit?
Yes.
Mr. Meyer?
Yes, motion carried, the motion is approved. Congratulations, Mr. Fiskalnik.
I think that's good, thank you.
Welcome aboard.
We'll move on to, committee reports, the finance committee, and the council meeting.
Mr. President, we discussed, new contract with Republic Services for trash pickup. New contract, if we elect to do this in legislation forthcoming, it'll lock us into a better rate than most other cities. And, they would have to use, tows or parts, but they'll still be unlimited, large bulk debris or trash. So, give more information to follow if this goes forward. At this point, it's just a committee moves forward. Right.
All right, any questions for Mr. Spock? All right. Thank you, Mr. Spock. We're here in the Port Authority meeting, Mr. Smith is not here, so we'll address that second. We'll move on to recognition of the public. Floor is now open for recognition of the public. Everybody speakers, all remarks will be directed to the chair. They will not involve personnel. It will take 3 minutes per person, 30 minutes total. No one is signed up to speak. Is there anyone who wishes to address council? All right, seeing none, will the clerk please read legislation number 11-22-01.
A resolution of the council of the city of East Lake authorizing the mayor to apply for, accept, and enter municipal loan fund agreement for the Waverly Sanitary Relief Sewer Phase 2 project for construction of wastewater facilities, designating a dedicated retainment source for the loan and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion to suspend the rules requiring separate readings to read in full?
So,
Is there a second?
Second.
Will the clerk please call roll?
Mr. Gully?
yes.
Ms. Smith? Yes. Mr. Swanton?
Yes.
Mr. Overstreet?
Yes.
Mr. Sonic?
Yes.
Mr. Meyer?
Yes. Is there a motion to adopt?
Move to adopt.
Is there a second?
Second.
Will the clerk please call roll?
Mr. Gully?
Yes.
Ms. Smith? Yes. Mr. Swanton?
Yes.
Mr. Overstreet?
Yes.
Mr. Sonic? Mr. Meyer?
Yes, motion carried, legislation is adopted. We have no unfinished business, we have no new business. We'll move on to administrative reports. First report is from our mayor and safety director, that's one.
Thank you, Mr. President. Welcome to the evening meeting. Congratulations again, Mike, for my appointment and the election. So, look forward to working with you and as usual, the rest of the city council. Couple updates. I talked to the owner of Culver's today. So usually it's a 120-day build. As you can see, the building is down on Vine Street. The field, smoke and Captain Club, but again, with things in the world, it's going to be a 180-day schedule build because of materials and, again, so they're going to start the framing in a month. But again, at the end of the day, they have to wait all the way until next April for the asphalt and things on there. So I will send you guys over the schedule they sent me. I believe, so yeah, it's done. So I think the strip site and build pad will start on, they're saying the 22nd, but I didn't see anyone here today. So again, this will be a schedule that they'll keep and I'll get some updates as I can. But obviously we're looking forward to them opening in the city. He thinks it's going to be busier than Eastlake, and as you guys know, he owns the one in Macedonia. He thinks with the track counts and everything that they've done, that it should be a thriving sport for them. So, at my end, we're hoping that Culver then ends up bringing someone in for the BP. And if we don't get anywhere moving on BP, I've talked to Dave a little. We're going to see if we can put some pressure on the police for them to tear down the building, so we don't have that eyesore next to the new Culver. So that's the thing I'm going to work on with Dave. If you notice, Washington Elementary, or Washington with the new housing development is going strong. They're getting things done over there. So again, we're hoping by February they have some other things handled over there. The Ryan Holmes did send us some information. They don't have all their information out yet for us to get to the public for them to contact people. I did send you guys all that information. What Mark has told me, people have been contacting where the condos are going up in Willoughby. He said there's a lot of interest and people are already going to go for a lot back in Washington. And we should maybe possibly have some planning sometime in December for the tax bill. As you said, the yard waste was extended through December 17th on your regular garbage pickup. I did meet the person that's taking care of the vineyards now, since that's sold once again. I told him I've been there for 8 years and that has sold 3 times. We're hoping that this group now wants to invest into that plaza and get some new either restaurants or businesses in here. So he assured me, like the others, that would be top of their list to do. So so for that, we have an evening with Santa here on Sunday from 6 to 9. We will have a couple surprises for that evening. So we're looking forward to that. We'll start off in the fire department with the lights in the back. And just like wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. That concludes my report. I'm open for questions.
Any questions from the mayor? Mr. Sonic?
With the construction of culverts and the paving and the demolition of BP, do you know if the All Cross Club is still going to be having that?
So I talked to them a little, talking to Nick we don't know if we're gonna have that again, the first year especially. Because Nick feels, one, you can insure a lot more, and with, obviously, we're spending $180,000 we're going for up. So we're gonna look at that talk, and I actually talked to Brandon last week about that. So I told him we'll keep him in the loop on that, but at this point in time, the parking lot will go until April, at least depending on when the asphalt plant's open, because we were gonna try to get it in this year. We had to override this, and of course, those are on the back order. So, yeah, I don't know, we may just do the car show, but for the way they compete around there, I don't know.
Yeah.
Want to take that chance, especially for sure. But I've been talking to Tom Wolf on that, too. I did talk to him, got his opinion, I'm gonna have his opinion that maybe we should do the cars next year, so. And again, it's not like we made a ton of money on it, sharpening my thoughts right now.
Yeah.
Any other questions? All right, thank you, Mr. Mayor. We'll move on to our police chief.
I'll continue to get a little more information on the, Garfield Heights business, so we can at least have all the information to make your decision. Want to welcome Kevin and Mike, and all I have.
Any questions for the chief? All right, seeing none. Mr. Casale, would you like to, comment and service director?
Just thank you to all of you, and I look forward to the opportunity.
Very good. We'll move on to our city engineer, Tom Boyd.
Thank you, Mr. President, members of council, Mr. Mayor. It'd be nice to feel real alone here. I'd like to offer my congratulations to Councilman Son on your appointment and election. Similar to Mr. Costello, it's been great to work with you, and wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving with that.
Are there any questions for Mr. Boyd? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to our law director, Ray Clinton.
Thank you, Mr. President, as well, congrats to Mike and Kevin, thank you for that appointment, sorry, it's drawn to see you, but I appreciate that, I think it's the right thing to do. We had a recent conversation, just to give you a little bit of a heads up, sometime next year, you're gonna see a property sale for a family by the name of Belzer on Brooks, we call it Brooks Drive, yeah. There's a piece of property out there that the city owns that the city really has no interest in. We're working through the process of them drawing a plan, for potential lots, but in a sale that adds to their residential property down there. You may see that coming through next year, you know, detail, just give you a heads up in case you drive up. Other than that, no more questions.
Any questions for the law director?
Everything.
Seeing none, we wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving, and this council meeting is adjourned at 7:24.